My next guest says the secret to transforming your relationship with your teen starts with the letter R, respect. She says, give it 40 days. Welcome, Nina ROESNER.
It's great to be here.
Okay, so I have to be honest. We chatted a little bit about this. When I first picked up this book and started reading it, I thought, I don't think it's my duty as a parent to respect my child. It's their duty to respect me as the parent. But I've never seen it as I'm supposed to respect my children. And I don't mean it as in a demeaning way, but I feel like the goal is to teach them to respect their elders, to respect their parents, to respect those that are in control in the household. Now, you're going to correct me on this.
Well, I'll just say maybe God can do that. If we're going to have our kids do something like that, we need to model it for them. They need to see what it looks like. And the way that they get value is every single day, they're looking for who am I? And so mom and dad are going to be able to tell them that by respecting and loving them, by making their opinions valid, by listening, all those kinds of things. And as a child grows up, you got two ways you can go. You can go the path of rebellion, which is I need control. And it usually comes because somebody else is controlling me. And our goal is to get them out, right, and have them not live in our basement when they're 25. So the way that they become independent and do that in a healthy way is through respect. We value them as people. We listen to them as individuals. We still tell them yes and no sometimes when necessary, right?
A lot of times.
Right. But the more that we can say yes or work through conflict to reach agreement in a respectful and healthy way, then the more confident and self-assured in terms of independence they're going to be.
And expectations plays a big role in that. You talk about that in this book. And you know what? I think all parents are guilty of, we see our children and we think, they're little miniature versions of me. And really, when they go to school, they really represent me. And so we put a kind of unfair expectations on our children.
Yeah, we do. And I don't want credit for my kids' behavior when they're good, because if I do that, then I got to take responsibility for it when they're bad. And the truth is they're not mine. They belong to God, and I get this privilege of walking with them for this period of time and intimately having a relationship with these guys. And it's wonderful, and it's difficult. But when we respect, we can make that go so much better than the conflict and the butting heads.
And that kind of goes to your point of focusing on God's vision for our children, because we might, again, have expectations, ideas. He's going to be a doctor, he's going to be a dentist, he's going to be a genius. But sometimes that doesn't happen, let's be honest. And God has other plans for our children.
And when I wrap my identity up in my kids' behavior instead of what God thinks of me, then I get into being controlling of his behavior, and I stifle who he really is. And I get in God's way of doing what he's going to do with this kid.
You have a lot of great stories in here, and I love stop yourself. Because sometimes we get to the point where we get a little angry.
Oh, you think?
And we lose control sometimes. And sometimes we need to stop and think about also how our children are perceiving us through this moment as well.
Yeah, I'm not the only parent, and I'm sure you can relate, the whole flooding thing and all of that.
Of course.
Yeah, I need a timeout once in a while, and that's actually a physiological thing, because we get triggered by something in our own childhood, and we have all these thoughts that aren't healthy, and we just need to take a break and go 20, 30 minutes, and okay, God, what are we doing here? Recenter me, help me see this the way that you do. And then we can move forward in a healthier, biblical way.
And so a lot of this focus is really on the parents through this dare.
Sorry, yeah. Yeah,
go ahead.
Well, the title, With All Due Respect, not necessarily kid respect me, but mom and dad respect the kid,
Encourage rather than nag. Yeah, another thing that we're guilty of.
Yeah, because they don't do the thing they're supposed to do, and we know when it's due, but they don't have a frontal lobe that's fully developed till they're 25, so common sense is lacking.
Yes.
And we're like, but if you don't do this now, this thing's going to happen.
Yes.
And so we get all wound up. So instead, we need to be asking questions like, so I know you have a plan to get this done. Can you help me understand what it is so that I don't worry about it? And when they or well, they make up a plan on the spot usually. And then we can say, oh, so what will happen if, you know, this doesn't happen by this day? Or, you know, what will happen if this thing that I know is coming and you don't gets in the way? You know, I don't say it like that, but that's how we feel inside, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then through questioning, we can teach them mature thinking and engage both sides of their brain, the logic part with the relational part, put those things together, create some synapses so that they're wiser, so that they can get out on their own and not make as many dumb mistakes as we did, hopefully.
Now this all sounds perfect,
I know,
right?
right?
And you know, I'm listening to the parents that are shouting through the television screen at both of us and saying, that doesn't work in my house. So how do we eventually patiently get there?
We can't. This is the work of the Holy Spirit. And so the most important thing, and the book does this, it connects us to God in a deeper way through the devotional experience. We can't do this on our own. We have the Holy Spirit making that happen.
And it's such a great book because there are a lot of personal stories that you've pulled from different people that you've talked to yourself as well, to really just illustrate all of these different points as you go through this 40-day dare.
Yeah, the stories are legit, they're real. And some of those big mistakes are mine, you know, and the conversations with God are very real as well. You know, the struggles that we have are legit, and He's right there with us in the middle of them. So we hope to bring hope to parents, you know, so they don't feel so alone, and so they can get their kids out and not have them live in their basement when they're 25.
Yes, that is our goal. Thank you so much, Nina. The name of the book is With All Due Respect. Your website is?
greaterimpact.org.
All right, and you can get this book at our e-store as well. Stay with us. We'll be right back.